Woo! Yes, we're here today live at the Building Dreams Drive. We're going to raise $300,000 for these families at Orange County Ronald McDonald House. And I'm here with my favorite mentor in my life, Sharon Ellis. I love you, Sharon.
You mean Habitat?
I can't believe I just said that. That's a different cause. But we are here today to raise $300,000 Building Dreams Drive for Orange County Habitat for Humanity, where I've been on the board with Sharon for 10 years. My first nonprofit servitude because of you. Thank you so much for being my mentor. I love you and for correcting me live in the moment.
Well, that's part of what happens when you do things live. You just get to say what's in your heart. You are an amazing board member. You've been an amazing part of Habitat. And part of what we're trying to do today is to really raise the awareness of the need for affordable homes in Orange County. Homeownership is a critical part of what we have to do in Orange County, and that is the important piece of helping a family realize that they have reached the American dream of homeownership. Very hard in Orange County, but Habitat provides a mechanism, a way for that to happen. And we really want you to be part of making this all happen. Every dollar we raise goes to build more homes in Orange County and to serve more families. So your participation in this is critical. And Charles, your participation in this is amazing. Charles is an amazing board member who understands the passion of what we do here. And he and his team at Antis Roofing have put the roofs on 68?
93
homes in Orange County. What an incredible statement about participation and putting your energy into action. So thank you for that.
Well, it's you, because you called me. Sharon called me 13 years ago and said, hey, Charles, will you donate a roof? And you know, I couldn't say no. I needed to say yes, because we can't let a family have a leaky roof. We can't let them have a leaky roof if they don't have the money to pay. We got to fix it. And I said yes.
You did.
And then you asked me if I donated another one. And Antis has donated the last 93 roofs. But we do it because you said this thing to me. You said this thing to me. And this is what I believe you believe too. In fact, everybody that I know and love believes this, and that is this: everybody deserves a decent place to live. You said that to me, and it gave me confidence. And I followed you and did whatever you said. I joined the board, and then you said, Charles, come with me on an international build. Let's go build homes for people in other areas. And I said, I don't have time, but then you said, come, and I did. I followed you to Mongolia, where my older two kids, Eric and Ali, came with me, and we with 300 volunteers, built 20 homes for these beautiful families living in Mongolia that were living in yurts. Do you remember that?
I do. It was an amazing trip. It was a kind of material that we'd never worked with before. And the one thing that was amazing about it was that they were rectangular buildings, but they all had a pitched roof. So I asked Charles to be in charge of the roof. And you just went crazy.
There were 300 people there, and I didn't know I was going to be the roofing expert. And these people didn't know that everything above has to overlap everything below, which means I had to go around and correct people. And I do not like correcting people, but we finished our home. And I got to tell you, on the last home, it was our home. We had the only roof that was done, and we had 50 minutes, less than an hour, before the family, who was now smiling to get the keys, they were going to enter their home, and I wanted to finish the roof. And we had like 3 shingles left, but there was no ladder. And so I grabbed these sticks together, I tied them together, I started to climb up, and Sharon said, Charles, don't go up there, it's dangerous. I said, I'm going up. She said, don't do it. And I went anyway. That was our only argument we've ever had. And she had my son, who's big and burly, hold the ladder together so I wouldn't fall into the shard. And we finished that roof, and that family got their keys. And I really got it. And then we go to the news. The news comes in, and she says, Charles, tell the story. And I go, no, I can't talk. I can't talk in front of a camera. And then she said, yes, you can. And she made me, the board member, tell Mongolia people why we believe that everyone deserves a safe, dry home. And I started shaking. My lip was quivering, and I was thinking, why am I doing this? And that night, we watched the news reel, and you couldn't see that my lip was quivering like it is right now. But we're here to raise money for these families because we really believe that everybody deserves a great, safe, dry place to live.
And that starts here in Orange County, because I think it is so critical for us to realize that even though there might be parts of our county that are affluent, there are parts of our county and families in our county who are struggling to find a place to live. They are struggling to find a safe, decent, affordable place to to lay down at night and to make sure that their children are safe. My background is education. Before I joined Habitat, I was in education. And one of the things that I think is so absolutely critical is the fact that children know that today they're going to go to school, tomorrow they're going to go to the same school, the next day they're going to go to the same school, without the instability that comes when anxiety about where a family is going to be living becomes a major part of the family conversation. Every time we build a home and put a family into a home that they can now afford, we are transforming not only the family, but specifically the children in that family to make them feel secure and safe. Our goal is that that second generation is not a candidate for a Habitat home. We want them to be educated and skilled and going out and buying a market rate home. But for many of our families right now, that leap is too high. So by providing the Habitat opportunity, we are helping stabilize families that otherwise would be really, really struggling in our community. So every time we build a house, every time we serve a family, we are stabilizing one more family.
Sharon, you tell this best. You told this many times, and you're here to clarify the stat, and sometimes I get it wrong, but these children in these homes, when they're crowded into a house, they can't often further their education after high school. Less than 30% do. But we know that we've tracked the families of Habitat Orange County have gone on to further their education after high school 76% of the time. Is that correct?
That's about correct. And one of the reasons for that is probably the College Bound program that we provide for our families to really help our families, both the parents and the children, know the opportunities of advanced education. Our goal is really to break that cycle of poverty. And the way you do that is to help families understand what the next step can look like and then give them the skill set to get there. And that's what Habitat does. It is more than a house. It is really about being engaged in every aspect of a family's life so that they understand what they have in front of them and the opportunities that are available to them.
So, Sharon, I love you, and this is personal, but this is a challenge. It's a bittersweet day. This is this big drive. We're raising this money, but this is your last big drive because you are retiring. Tell me what's going on right now inside.
I don't know that I can do that.
Understood.
Sorry. This organization means so much to me. And the families that we serve, I don't know them all, but I know that they know what we have done to them. And that makes my heart feel good. And I will be retiring, but I know that the vision that we have of creating a world where everyone has a decent place to live is just something that others will be able to carry on. And you'll be part of it.
I'll be part of that, but I'll miss you, and we won't go anywhere. You're still my mentor. We will be talking a lot, but you've given me this ability not only to give, and it means something to my people, but it means something inside out. It means something in our brand, and I didn't even know. You taught me so much. You brought a brand expert to a board meeting like 10 years ago. When this is when I was donating roofs, but I wouldn't tell anybody about it. I'll give it, but I'm not going to tell anybody about it, by gosh. And you said, you got to. This is that people know your story. And you brought this brand expert, and he told this story, and he said, you know what the top 3 brands in America are, nonprofit-wise? The ones that sing to people's hearts, whether they understand it or not. It was Habitat, it was American Red Cross, and it was Girl Scouts of America. And he started saying, why? Because when the story of the brand aligns with the story of the stakeholder, then it flips everything else on its side, and they believe and they get it because we have that condition that we believe that everybody has a safe, dry home. And you gave me that, and I'm so appreciative. But I think it's something that everybody needs to understand. If you have a way that you can mean something in your community, you'll be heard. You'll be heard. You'll be relevant, and you'll be authentic and vulnerable in the moment. It's like we're here today, and I don't know what we're supposed to do next, Jeanette. What's next?
Let's check out what the volunteers are doing.
We're going to check out what the volunteers are building live right now. Come over here. Follow us. Troy.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
We got Troy here.
Good morning.
Troy is running this whole thing. Troy, tell us what's going on here today.
Well, today we're working on some siding. This is very much a volunteer-friendly thing. We've always engaged with volunteers to do siding. It's very productive, and you can see we're moving towards the end of this. We're up on the staging, got a little bit more to finish, and certainly once the staging comes down, we can start thinking about grading out this site and finishing up.
This is amazing. I'm curious what the volunteers exactly today are doing. I saw them in different pockets. Are we doing any construction? Are we painting?
I think there is some painting going on. If you look down here in between the levels of staging here, they built some awnings. We're actually going to sheet those because ultimately our roofer is going to be putting some concrete tiles up there. I don't know if you've met him before.
He's got quite a crew, and a bunch of them are here today. You're speaking of the roofing company that has donated the last 93 homes roofs, and we're very proud of that because it makes us who we are. So thanks for pointing that out. You know, I remember a lot of times here, like this morning when I came here today, I was wearing a suit because I forgot everything that was going on, and I had to buy a shoe. They wouldn't let me on the site. I wouldn't be let on the site until I wore the boots, and I love that you control this. So I remember when you first came to Habitat, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, we were on a build site. Remember I questioned the flashing on the windows? Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, I'm calling everybody in the country to make sure we get it right. Tell us how we get such attention to detail and how we haven't had any defaults in our homes. I mean, how does that happen here so well? Is the construction that good?
Well, I think it's important to note that what we do here at Habitat, they are affordable. They are certainly not less than. I mean, we are held to the same, building codes and standards that any other builder.
What do you do when I come through during the day and I, like I've done before, drive the nail in too far and mess something up? Does that stick?
Well, again, these are.
Do you fix it behind me?
Absolutely. We just don't tell you.
I've heard that you guys have a crew that comes behind us at night just to make sure we got it right.
Well, we do, and because again, sometimes it does get busy, and there is an element of you have a lot of people out here that have never been on a build site. They don't necessarily know, construction. So that is part of our job. Ideally, we would manage it and get it done the first time, but sometimes, yeah, we need to go back and make things right because it's all about getting it right.
When's the first homeowner move into this site, and what are the major things that need to be completed before?
Well, again, once the staging comes down, we do need to grade. We've got all the flat work to do, all the landscape. At the end of this project, we will be installing an exclusive use top lot for our families. They'll have their own little play area, which we're very proud of too. I would like to mention too, these homes, there's 6 of them out here. We are currently building. They're 1,430 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. As I'm sure you will see, they all have attached 2-car garages, in-house in-unit laundry facilities, and they all have private yards in addition to the top lot. So there's a private yard for each family as well.
So we have volunteers. Where are the volunteers from today besides Antis Roofing? Do you know?
Well, let's see. I think we have some volunteers from Compass, which is one of our donors. They're out here in force today. If there's another group, I'm not sure I'm aware of another group. We also have some of our crew leaders and some walk-up volunteers.
And we need volunteers, right?
Always.
And also we need companies like Antis that sponsor build sites where we donate a few $1,000s and bring our teams out, some of our stakeholders. And we have this day that we'll always remember. In fact, if you follow Antis, you'll notice we post pictures of those days more than everybody. So please, donate your time, donate your company's time, and we can't do any of this without money. We need your donations. And by the way, it's not easy, but how can you not do it? If you think like us, that everyone deserves a safe, dry home, then it's easy to say yes and give $5. It's easy to give a little bit every month. And anything that you can do is going to help us. Anything that you can volunteer is going to help us get more families protected where they can go on and further their education. I love what you're doing here. Tell us one more amazing thing about this site. Could be about the people, could be about your experience. It could be like a great story that you haven't got to tell yet. Give me something.
Let's see, let me give you something. I would like to circle back to that top lot, honestly,
okay,
because I'm really proud of that. That was something we worked out with the city, and not a lot of parks in the area. There's not a lot of opportunity for that. So to create something that's safe on site, that our families will be able to enjoy and have there for their children. I think that's something we're really proud of. I know why.
I think that is I'm glad you paused on that. I didn't know about that yet. First I've heard about it. In fact, I can't remember doing a top lot before, and I love that we're doing that.
I think it might be something affiliate, yes.
Thank you. I see what you're Jeanette, where are we going to go next? What's happening? Whoa, we got an announcement. In fact, Troy, do you want to say, if you say it, you got to say it loud.
All right.
How much have we raised?
$53,000.
$53,000 so far.
All right.
We have $247,000 to go if I math right. Did I math right? All right, let's do that. Love these volunteers. How about a big hand for these volunteers? Toughest Cares, Orange County. One more. Thank you.
And now it's a commercial to Stanton Homes.
Oh, we have a commercial now. We're going to talk about the Stanton Homes. What's happening right here. Thank you. Wow, that is so cool. We're here in the kitchen of unit number 6 at the Stanton lot, and now I'm with Kate. Kate, you're in a different section than me. We're donating these roofs on all these new home projects, but you have another vital role in the organization. What do you do?
So I have a dual role. I'm working in the Family Services Department as well as the Home Repair Department. So I'm a program specialist in both departments. So
Tell us about home repair.
So home repair, I love. It's actually one of the parts of the organization that I think people are not quite as familiar with. Everybody knows us for building homes, but what a lot of people don't know is that we're also out in the community assisting people that already own homes that they love and they want to continue living in long term, but they might not have the necessary means to make repairs to their homes. So the Home Repair Department assists homeowners with making what we call critical repairs to their homes, which are repairs that focus on health, safety, and accessibility. And I love the Home Repair Department because it really is another way that the organization as a whole really serves the mission, because in the work that we do through home repair, we are also creating safe, healthy homes for people to live in.
It is, and I'm excited about home repair too, because when you think about what protects a home, what's the number one thing that protects a home? It's the roof. Yes. That's what we do. And I know a lot of generous roofers out there. I know you guys, because you say yes, just like I do, because you can't let a family have a leaky roof just because they don't have the money to pay. So I want you roofers out there to raise your hand and call Kate and say, yes, I'll donate a roof. Yes, I'll donate a roof repair. Yes, I'll keep families safe and dry. I promise we will get some of you guys to do this. And you know that you will, because you always say yes, because you're struck with that same condition as us. How does that sound? What else can we do to help support?
Well, we do things in home repair like electrical, plumbing, accessibility, so things like that. So we're always looking to partner with different subcontractors in the community that are available and able to do work for us.
Sometimes these homes are actually condemned. I mean, you're actually helping people stay in a home they wouldn't otherwise stay in.
Yeah, we do. A lot of the work that we do also helps people with code enforcement issues. So it's so true. We're literally putting roofs over people's head and allowing them to continue to live in these homes that they love and really want to continue living in. So.
Well, you know what? You just struck me with this memory. 33 years ago, I walked inside a home thinking I was going to make money, and I smelled mildew, and I tried to leave, but a little girl pulled me into her room. And I knew it was a room because she points to this My Little Pony poster on the wall, but I looked down and I saw where the source of mold was coming from her bed. And it was impossible for me to help, but I was able to scrape up the volunteers and the people to let that family stay in that home. And what that did for us, it took me a long time to realize, but that's how you can help. You can help a family stay in a home. You can also help a family purchase a home. And we have a family that you know well, that we're going to tell you their story about purchasing a home now.
Well, I think first we're going to talk a little bit about the program, overall the home buying program, because
I like that.
Again, I think we can agree that home ownership, particularly here in Orange County, has become so unbelievably expensive that it's not, we as an affiliate have seen that it's not only impacting our low-income families, but it's also creeping up into the moderate-income families as well. So when we talk about low and moderate income, I think that a lot of people will be surprised to see how high those income limits are today. So for anybody out there that's watching that is wondering if this program might be for them, I would definitely encourage you to visit the website. We have the program qualifications there, the income limits listed on the website, and then the orientation is a really great place to start as well. I'm your host for the orientation. Any additional information about the program, the orientation is a really great place to start, because we're here in a moderate income home today, and moderate income, just as an example, a family of 4 for moderate income can go all the way up to $128,000. So that could be 2 parents and 2 kids, that's two parents making at least $60,000. It could be a single parent with 3 kids making up to $120,000. So those are some really big numbers that I think people might not be as familiar with seeing from us, but it's really important that people know that this program serves a lot of different people.
What Kate's saying is true, but chances are the people, most of the people that would qualify may not be listening.
Yes.
But you are. If you're an employer, if you have people that work in your companies that are between $70,000 to $120,000, they would qualify between these two categories, and maybe they wouldn't otherwise be able to get their family into a home that they buy, that they qualify for. So please take this and give it out, share it. Let's get families in homes that want to be protected, that are prepared, and that are saving, building up their credit like all these families do, and they're even volunteering. How many hours sweat equity per home?
So it depends on what type of home it is. Obviously, that someone's been selected, but for the new low-income homes, it's 250 hours per applicant. For the moderate-income homes, it's 25 hours per applicant.
And they do. When we go to builds, we are, whether I'm in Mongolia or Orange County, we build next to the people. Oh, I just saw something come in. Kate, I want you to yell it as loud as you can. What's the new number? Where are we at? And funds raised.
$85,000.
$85,000! Woo! We need more. We gotta build more homes. We gotta get more roofs. We gotta keep more families safe and dry. Commercial?
Oh, so now we're going to go to, okay, all right, so now we're going to go check out a video of one of our previous families that benefited from this fundraiser last year, mother and daughter, Janine and Jonna.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Janine. My name is Jonna. And we're Habitat homeowners. So I think my favorite part of moving into a new home is not needing to move again.
Amen to that.
My mom and I, before this, we lived in an apartment, and because apartments are so expensive, we basically moved 4 or 6 times within a year, within the past year. So it provides a form of stability financially, and physically, having a physical space to know that we're going to be here for a while. I love being able to decorate our room. I think that made our bond a little bit stronger. So we just did this last weekend. I still remember the days I prayed for the things that I have now. So very grateful, of course, first of all, to God for giving us this wonderful blessing and connecting us to this wonderful organization, and to donors like you. So it's impacting real lives. Another favorite memory that I have is we actually celebrated our first Christmas here. So with our family, we had games, there's space to be loud and to exist, and it's not sharing a wall necessarily like in an apartment, so we can move around, the kids were playing, and it was
and
wonderful.
stay up late.
Yeah, and play music, sing karaoke, right? It's good, it's a good feeling. So yeah, we hope that you would consider to support Habitat and many more families who are dreaming of having their first home. It's truly life-changing.
Thank you, Habitat.
Thank you, Habitat.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thanks, Jesus. God bless.
God bless.
I'm here with Ashley now, and Ashley's one of my favorite members of the Habitat staff. She's a director of corporate and foundation relations. Thank you for your help. And tell us about your job and tell us more about the families in the sweat.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Jonna and Janine for sending us that video and an update of how they're doing. You know, our families are extremely hardworking, so it's very hard for them to take time off on a Wednesday morning to be here with us. So we're glad that we could kind of give the audience an update on how they're doing in Fullerton. My job at Habitat is on our fundraising team, and so I do have a lot of overlap with a lot of different areas of our mission and our organization. I'd say I just also want to touch on, I know you guys were talking about sweat equity. One of the coolest things about Habitat is the unique relationship that we have with our families. They, do sweat equity. They come back and help other families build their homes, and they stay committed to the mission. Even sometimes donating, like today on the Lead Dreams Drive. So it's really special and unique, and I think it's one of the best parts of our organization.
I believe sweat equity happens everywhere, but I've experienced it in 2 places. I mentioned earlier that Sharon and I went to Mongolia, and we built with these 300 volunteers these 20 homes, and the families were all there. And I thought it was cultural, but at first it was odd because they didn't smile. And it made me feel funny because I was working on their home next to them and they didn't look at me. But by day 3, the smiles started cracking. They started to see their home, and we started to have this moment that would be like hugs and high fives, and the people that don't hug and high five. And it was a powerful experience, and I'll never forget it. But I also have had multiple moments here in Orange County. And I remember Sharon experiencing this with me. Again, she's always grabbing me by the ear. She's introducing me to the homeowners, and she introduced me maybe 8-10 years ago to a homeowner named Rosie. And Rosie had 2 kids. She was a single parent. I think one of the kids was special needs, and she was moving into the Fullerton site. And it was just so cool because she started to see the home. We were there, we were filming something together or taking pictures, and she saw the home and she knew that we donated the roof. And she looked at me and she said, thank you. And her eyes welled up and she gave me this hug. Sharon was there too. And this hug lasted so long, and it felt like something was awakening me, like electricity through me. And that was the time I realized, oh my God, I have to say yes to these families. I have to keep families in homes where their kids can be protected. And that's why we do it. Because we get to build with these families, and it's a beautiful experience.
We're transforming not only, the homeowners themselves, their entire family, creating a culture of philanthropy for generations to come. And we see that time and time again with the children that grow up in these homes. So it's really just amazing. I do want to talk about, you mentioned the roofs, and, Charles and Antis Roofing is like famous. They do donate a lot, and they are responsible for a lot of the roofs on our homes. I want to talk about the cost of supplies. Right now, as a nation, as a world, we're facing a lot of challenges. One of those is cost of materials, gas, everything's kind of skyrocketing. So that's another reason why it's so important to have that support. And you can directly make an impact today by donating. Help us finish these homes in Stanton. Help us, transform another family's life.
Give. We need cash. That's why I donate cash for these homes. We need money. We also need materials, and we need labor. And again, I must say to other corporations out there, other construction companies, Antis is able to donate all of the roofs, and Eagle Roofing Products donates all of the tile, so there's no cost onto these homeowners. And I know that's repeatable. I know it's redoable because I know roofing contractors that do it in other markets. I think that's possible with framing. I think it's possible with plumbing, air conditioning, solar. And I'm calling on us to come together for community. Well, we have another number, right? We have another number. Come together for community and give us some more of this. Ashley, where are we at?
$86,000.
$86,000! Woo!
Amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Jeanette, where are we going to go next? Restore.
Let's talk about the restores. I don't know if you've had a chance to check out our Anaheim or Santa Ana locations, but we have some awesome items at these stores, and we'd love to share with you a little bit more about that.
Hi, my name is Robin, and I'm the Vice President of Retail Operations at Habitat OC's Restores. Habitat OC Restores are nonprofit home improvement stores and donation centers that sell new and gently used appliances, furniture items, and building materials to the public for discounted prices. We have 2 locations in Orange County, one in Anaheim and one in Santa Ana. Today I am at the Anaheim Restore, and this display is an example of what great finds shoppers will see when they come visit our stores. We are proud of the work that we do at the Restore to help generate funds to support Habitat OC's mission of bringing people together to build homes, community, and hope. But we still need your help. Today is our Building Dreams Drive fundraiser, and we are asking our community to donate to help us complete the construction of 6 affordable homes in Stanton. I have witnessed firsthand the impact of affordable home ownership on families' lives. The worry of rising cost of rent is replaced with the ease of the predictability of a mortgage payment. Together with the year-round revenue that is generated at the Restores and the dollars that we raise today, 6 families will have the opportunity to fulfill a lifetime of dreams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the Habitat OC Restores.
This has been an amazing day. We get to be here with these people that have so much in common with us, and I'll get to him in a minute, but we've met volunteers. We've met all of these companies, and we've met the staff members that really believe, like us, that everybody deserves a safe, dry home. And I have a special friend here who serves with me for a long time on the Orange County Habitat for Humanity board. It's Michael Ballantyne. So Michael, how's it going?
Very good, Charles.
What are you doing here today?
I'm here to make the point that we need affordable housing in Orange County, believe it or not. Even though we're so affluent, there are just not homes for people to live in here that they can afford. And we're talking about teachers, police officers, grocery workers. I mean, just the regular meat and potatoes of our society. It's a hard place to find a home that you can afford. So we're trying to make that happen here at Habitat.
He's all in every day. And I'm going to ask you a question in a second, because earlier in an earlier segment, I talked about what happened to me 33 years ago when I walked inside a home that they couldn't afford a roof, and they might not have been able to stay in their home if I didn't provide a roof that I didn't think I could afford to give, but I found a way to give. And I think that why burns in me today. And when Sharon came to me and said, Charles, you always tell why we give. Why do you give? I told this story. What's your story? Why are you here with me on this board?
Well, I believe that affordable housing is so important, especially for our children. I think Sharon alluded to that earlier, where a kid now has a home they can study in, they can invite friends over, there's stability, they're going to the same school, and they're gonna move up and probably move out of this cycle of renting and renting and renting and renting and not having the American dream at their disposal. So that is really important to me, that we just make a difference. And this is the one mission that will make a difference every single day of this family's life for generations. You know, there are other great organizations that provide food and work and clothing, but a home is different. It's every single day, and we see it change generation by generation. So we need to step up, Orange County. We need to make this happen. We need to build more homes for people that need them and can not afford the median price home in Orange County.
It hits us. It hits my workers. It hits some of my family members. And so I think it hits you too. And I know that you're prepared a lot more than just with your mouth today.
Oh, gosh, of course.
And I think Sharon's still here.
Yes. So I brought my check, and we have a generous donor that's going to match up to $5,000 for every viewer that we have today. So, and there are some other donors that are going to match funds, but I want to make sure I get mine in. And if you're watching, click on the button and use your credit card, and let's get some money into the store here. Where are we at right now on donations? We have a new number?
We do know this.
Yes.
We have $95,000 committed to match.
Okay.
Which means we're kind of double to where we were earlier, 85. Do we have a new number?
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming. 87. So that's doubled. And we can double. We need 8,000 more right now. We can double that.
Absolutely.
In fact, we'll take donations beyond this moment, right, Shelley?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
we will.
Absolutely.
We definitely will. Thank you.
For sure.
Sharon Ellis, our CEO, our beloved leader, on her last drive. It's so awesome to be here with this you as the CEO of Orange County Habitat for Humanity. This is our last drive together, and we've done so many. Now, I know she's going to come back and volunteer, but not as CEO. And I'm just so glad that I get to share this moment with you. And I thank you so much for mentoring me, that I could be the best of myself and our company could shine in the community. It's because we listen to you and we say maybe, and that maybe always turns into a yes. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Michael.
So say yes
Michael.
and donate.
We need it. We need it. These families need it. And together we're better. I'll say it this way. We're better together.
Yay, I love it. Thank you.
Always.
Thank you.
Thank you.